Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Trish. If it's your first time here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what videos you'd love to see me do next. So for today's video, I wanted to sit down with you guys and do a simple makeup tutorial, and this is dedicated for those of you who knows absolutely nothing about makeup but you want to start getting into it and learn how to do the basics, and that's what I'm going to teach you today. Okay, so before you get started, you want to make sure that your skin's clean, and so I washed my face and I added some moisturizer. Okay, first thing I do when I'm doing my makeup is I like to do my brows first, because that's just how I work. I do my brows first and then I get into the rest of the face. So for the brows, you can use whether a pomade. I usually use this e.l.f. pomade and an angle brush, or you can use a powder along with an angle brush, or you can use a pencil. I rather the pencil. I just find it's easier to work with, and so that's what we're going to be using today. There are a ton of brow pencils you could choose from. My favorites right now are the Milani Easy Brow and the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I do like this one, but for some reason it's not the greatest. I think I just picked up a dud, but it's really thin, so it gives you those hair-like strokes for your brows. So this is my favorite, but this one, I don't know, it's just not working properly. So I think today I'm going to be taking my Milani, and this is in the shade dark brown, and I'm just going to start off by outlining my brows and then filling them in. I'm just going to be taking this spoolie in the end of that pencil and brushing through my brow hairs. So I've outlined my brows and filled them in, and now you don't want to leave them like that because they do look messy and unnatural. So what you want to do is grab a concealer, and I like this LA Girl Pro concealer, and this is in the shade Fawn. You want a concealer that's close to your skin tone, and you're going to use that to clean up your brows. I'm just going to take a small concealer brush, and I'm just going to use that to blend that concealer out. Now this is completely unnecessary. It's not something you have to do, but I just do it because I'm so used to doing it. But I'm going to be taking my brow gel, and this is from Essence. It's their Make Me Brow, and it has those filling fibers, so it gives your brows that full natural look. And I'm just going to take that and brush it through my brows, and then we are good on brows. And there you have it, the brows are done. So now we are going to be moving on to the face, and to start things off, you want to make sure you prime your skin. Now there are so many different primers to choose from, but you want to make sure that you choose a primer that goes with your skin. So if you have dry skin like I do, you want to use a primer that's hydrating, right? And vice versa. So my favorite primer right now is the Milani Bright Side Illuminating Primer. And I like this one because it gives your skin that youthful, radiant glow. So I'm going to be taking a small amount of that just to prime my face before I go in with the foundation. Now we prime our skin so that the foundation have something to hold on to once you start putting that onto the skin. And the primer also acts as a barrier between the foundation and your skin, which helps to eliminate breakouts and acne. If you're someone like me who struggles with acne or pimples, that helps reduce the amount of breakouts you do tend to get. Okay, so our face is primed, and now it's time for foundation. I am going to be taking my NARS Natural Radiant Long Wearing Foundation, and this is in the shade Caracas. With foundation, you want to make sure that you use a foundation that matches your skin tone. You want to make sure that you use a foundation that is also, if you have dry skin, you want to make sure your foundation is hydrating. If you have oily skin, then you want to go for something that's more matte, right? So I am just going to be taking a few dabs of that onto my face, and I'm going to be using my beauty sponge. This is my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. I'm just going to use that to pounce that foundation into my skin. You can also use a brush. It's up to you which you would rather, but for me personally, I rather use the sponge. Okay, so to blend that foundation in, you can use one of three things. You can use your hand, or you can go with a brush. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. This is my favorite brush for foundation. Or you can go with a sponge. You can use a beauty blender, or there are tons to choose from in the drugstore or Sephora. This is the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, and this is what I like to use because I feel like it blends that foundation out so good and gives that natural look. So I'm just gonna take that and I'm just gonna pounce this foundation into my skin. Okay, so next up is concealer, and you might want to use a concealer that's a couple shades lighter than your skin tone, because what you want to do is highlight your under eyes, and it helps with covering up dark circles. So we're going to be taking my e.l.f. Hydrating Coming Concealer, and I'm just going to place that in a triangular shape underneath my eyes. Now you don't need a whole lot because we are just doing a simple everyday look. I'm going to take that same beauty sponge and blend that concealer out. So after you do your concealer and everything's blended, you want to go in and set those under eyes before they start creasing. And for that, you're going to be needing a translucent powder. And I'm going to be using my Marcel translucent powder. This is my favorite right now. There's so many to choose from though. One of my favorites is the Laura Mercier. That is a very popular one. But there are so many to choose from, whether you want to go high-end or drugstore. But I am also going to be taking that on a brush, and the reason I use a brush is because I have dry skin, so I don't want to have my under eye looking cakey, which is what happens when I use a sponge like the beauty blender. So instead I am going to be taking a brush, and I'm just going to lightly dust my under eye with the translucent powder. Now what I like to do is I saturate my brush in that powder, and then I tap it just to not, and then I tap it just to get all that excess powder off. Now I do my lid first because the second I open my eye, it's gonna start creasing. So I am doing this lid first, and then I'll dust the rest of the translucent powder under my eye. Okay, so far we've set the under eyes with the translucent powder, and now we're gonna go in and set the rest of our face. And for that, I'm gonna be taking my Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is in the shade 355 Coconut. And I'm just gonna be using that on a fluffy brush and lightly dusting the rest of my face. Okay, so we've set the rest of that foundation in place. The next thing I like to do, and this is completely optional, you don't have to do this, but what I like to do is take a bronzer and just add some color back to my face. And for that, I'm gonna be using my Black Radiance True Complexion palette and just a dome brush. And I'm gonna take these two shades, I'm gonna mix these two shades, and I'm just gonna use that to add a bit of warmth to my face. And you want to start from like right in the corner where your sideburns are, and what you want to do is lightly dust that in circular motion. That way you are blending that product out and not just have it sitting in one spot. I'm just going to add a bit of blush just to add some color back to my cheeks, and for that I'm using Serafina, and this is from Juvia's Place, and I'm just going to take that on a angled brush and lightly dust that over my cheeks. Okay, so we are done with powders, and what you want to do now is set that makeup in place, and for that I am going to be using my all-nighter setting spray, and this is from the brand Urban Decay, and I'm just going to take that, give it a little shake, and spray my entire face. Okay, so the face is done, and now it's time to finish off the eyes. For mascara, I am going to be taking the Lash Princess from Essence. There is a ton of mascara to choose from. It just depends on what you're looking for, whether it's volume, length, or both. I like this one because it adds length to my lashes, which is what I like. And so I am going to just be taking that and coating my top lashes. Another reason why I love this mascara is because the wand is so small that it gets into those tiny baby lashes on your bottom lash line and just coats them so well that you actually look like you have lashes when really you don't. Now you could just leave your eyes like that, but for me, I love lashes, and so I'm gonna add some, and I'm gonna be using my Kiss Matte Velvet Lashes. Now these are super dramatic, but that's how I like my lashes. There are plenty to choose from, whether you want a natural look, dramatic look, or just something for everyday wear. But I am gonna be taking these Matte Velvet from Kiss, and I'm just gonna pop those on. Okay, so we're almost done, you guys, and for the lips I am just going to keep it light and go with a gloss. So I'm going to be taking my Maybelline Lifter Gloss, and this is in the shade 04 Silk, and I'm just going to add a bit of that to my lips. And there you have it, you guys. That's our look for today. It's super simple, really easy to achieve, only takes a few products and a few minutes, and I think it came out so pretty. I am so in love with these lashes. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.